Hello everybody, Joe Fiduccia back with some more information in PowerPoint 2010. Today we're going to talk a little bit about sections in PowerPoint. Now sections simply allow you to take a large presentation, something that's got dozens and dozens or potentially hundreds of slides to it, and break it up into smaller, more manageable pieces. So let's take a look at how they work and what benefits a section can offer. Let's take the following example. Imagine a PowerPoint presentation with lots of slides to it, such as the one we see here. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, I just duplicated a few slides, but more often than not, we'll have presentations that do go 50 slides, 100 slides, or even potentially 200 or 300 slides deep. And when you get a presentation that's that large, they become difficult to manage. So what section breaks will allow you to do is break up the presentation into smaller, more manageable sections. To insert a section break, the first thing you'll want to do is position the mouse in between the two slides that you'd like to put a break in. So I'm going to position my mouse over here to the left-hand side of the screen, directly to the left of my first slide. And then sections will be located up there on the Home tab in the ribbon. Underneath the Home tab, look directly towards the left. You'll see a menu that says Section, under which is only one option right now, and that's to add a section. Now upon doing so, I'll get a nice horizontal bar, and this will represent my first section break. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a few more. The next one I'd like to insert is right here between slides 9 and 10. So I click right between those two, go right back to section, and add another section at that juncture. I'm going to continue this a few more times. Clicking between slides 19 and 20, we'll add another section there. Scrolling down a bit, I've got one more section to add. It's going to be right here after that workshop slide. So I'm going to add a section, and now we have 4 sections total to use. The next thing we'll want to do after inserting our sections is give them each a name. This first section here has to do with the introduction part of my presentation. So what I'm going to do is right-click on that section bar that appeared and choose Rename Section. Upon doing so, I'm going to give this section a name, and I'll call this Introduction. Now I'm going to scroll down a little bit further to my next section, and on that next section that I inserted, I'm going to right-click on this and choose Rename. And for the purposes of today, I'll call this one Part 1. Continuing down to the next few sections that I inserted, I've got this one here, which I will rename, calling this one Part 2. Zooming out just a bit farther from the presentation here, you'll see we have one more bar left down here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and rename that section, calling this last one Conclusion. Now, one of the things we can do immediately after inserting sections is manage our presentation much easier. If you look to the left-hand side of any section, you'll see an arrow next to the name we gave it. And that arrow, when we click on it, will collapse any of the sections we've created, giving us now a much more manageable presentation. I say that because now if I want to work on the introduction section, I simply click that arrow to expand that section. When I'm done, I collapse it and then move on to another section that I'd like to work on or edit or delete slides from. See how I've just taken a very large presentation and brought it down into these more meaningful pieces that allow me to stay organized and find the things I need very quickly. A few other perks to using sections. Number one, there's no technical system limit to how many sections you can create. You can add as many as you'd like to a presentation to help you stay organized. Number two, you can rearrange slides from one section to another very easily. If I would like to take one of these conclusion slides here and maybe move them up, it's a matter of simply clicking and dragging that slide into a new section. So just like it would normally be in slide sorter view, you can certainly rearrange slides and mix and match them between sections. And finally, one more perk to section breaks is the ability to print any individual section you'd like very quickly. If I would like to print the second part of this presentation for my team, I can click on the File tab, go down to where it says Print, and instead of printing all slides right here, I can open up that menu and look at the bottom. you'll notice the 4 sections I've created are ready and waiting. So if I just need to print part number 2, I select that part, adjust the settings as I'd like to see the printout, and formally print this for my team. Zooming in just a bit closer there to that section menu that we first used on the Home tab, you'll see there aren't too many other things we can use. We talked about how we can add a section. We also did the renaming element. We can remove a section from this menu. Keep in mind, deleting a section will not delete the slides that are in it, just the section we applied to those slides. We can remove all sections from here. We can also quickly collapse or expand all sections from here. And like everything else that we've done in our tutorials, there are several other things we can say about sections, but hopefully this is just enough to spark your interest and want to give these a try. If you have any questions, please do let us know. Otherwise, I thank you very much for your time, and I'll look forward to seeing you again on a future tutorial.